Hey, what's up, guys? Eyesopenincalifornia here. So I'm redoing this video. The first time I did it, it came out super low in volume. So I'm pretty sure the war drums are beating. I'm pretty sure World War III is about to start, and I'm pretty sure it's going to start with China. So I had this dream, and I am out in front of a 2 or 3 story building, and it's me and a couple of men. I don't know who these people are. And off in the distance, assaulting this building that I'm going to refer to as the compound, is the Chinese infantry, and they're assaulting and they're shooting and running and they're getting closer. And I'm hiding behind this tree with the rifle, and the other men are behind the other trees with rifles. And I look down at the rifle and I think to myself, "Thou shalt not kill." So the selector switches on safety, and then they're getting closer and closer, and the people in the building are shooting down at them, and us down at the bottom we have not engaged at all. We did not give up our position, if you will. We're just hiding behind a tree. And I fully intended to die behind that tree at that point in time, because thou shalt not kill. So then a voice from above says, "You are now authorized to engage all enemy combatants." And I looked up, and I looked at the other dudes, and they looked at me, and we switched our selector switch to fire, and we turned around and we started engaging immediately. And there were a lot of them that were assaulting this building. And when we got done, there wasn't any left assaulting the building. And I'm not trying to glorify this. I've had to do this video a few times because this dream really, really bothered me. So then we push out, and the doors to this building open up, and the people from the building follow us. And we're running, and it's nighttime, and there's a lot of light out, as if like the moon is in a fuller phase. So we're running, and there's these hedges, and there's a whole bunch of infantry, and we started engaging them, and they fell down, and then there's 2 left, and I engaged the one to the left, and he fell down. Now there's the one man standing, last man standing, and he goes down on the ground, and he's kind of looking at me like, "What are you going to do?" And I ran up to him, and I put my rifle and aimed it at his head, and I pulled the trigger. And when I pulled the trigger, the rifle went, and just a puff of air came out, and nothing came out of my rifle. And I thought, what in the world? So I turned my rifle to a safe direction and pulled the trigger, and it blasts off. And I looked at him, and I said, "Jesus?" And he says, "Jesus." And I said, "Hey, all right." So I stood him up, and I stripped him of his combat gear, his vest that had all his magazines and ammo and grenades and all this stuff. And I sent him back to his side. And the guys next to me were like, "Hey, dude, he's just going to get more gear and come back and fight with us again." And I said, "No, he's not going to do that." And they said, "Why?" I said, "Because he's got Jesus." And they were like, "What?" And I said, "He didn't shoot at us. He never used his rifle." Uh, so I let him go. And I looked down at my rifle, and I told the guys, I said, "This rifle didn't discharge because he believed in Jesus." And they were like, "Huh?" And I said, "Yeah." So I said, "If your rifle malfunctions, not like a jam, I mean like a pfft, like it made a noise. A rifle jam is a rifle jam. I mean, you clear the jam. But this did something that I have never seen before." And I told them, when your rifle does this, don't try to shoot at the same guy again, um, because you're probably going to get in trouble, right? Uh, so the next scene is we are. It's night. It's still nighttime, and we're looking down this long hallway. And on the other side of the hallway is Chinese infantry. On this side of the hallway is Americans. But I don't know if I was a civilian or if I was a soldier. But at any rate, we couldn't get to their side and they couldn't get to our side. And I hate to say it like that, their side and our side, because it's stupid. Like, we as American citizens don't have anything to do with, like, any of that. Like, it's ridiculous. And we're going to end up probably paying the piper for it. But anyways, it had to have been between 2 a.m. and daybreak, because it was super late and everybody was just ridiculously tired. They could not get it together. And I'm sitting there looking over my rifle, watching this hallway to make sure they don't try to assault our side. And I see the same dude that I let go. And he looks back and forth at his side and nobody's watching him. And he sneaks over to me. And he was like, hey, what's up? You know, and kind of sort of with broken English. And I said, hey, dude, I need high capacity magazines. And I pulled out the magazine of my rifle. And it was ridiculous. I said, I need a high capacity magazine. So he looks down and he goes, okay. And he comes back with a belt-fed machine gun and all kinds of ammo. And I was like, oh, that's what I'm talking about, right? Not that anyways. So the one thing about the belt-fed machine gun that he brought me was that it was very front heavy. When I lifted it up, it dived in the front like that, kind of like when you see a helicopter take off real fast. That's how front heavy this machine gun was. I don't know what kind of gun that is. I don't know. But I would say it was the American equivalent of a 240. Or it was the Chinese equivalent of the American 240. So, anyways, dude ended up being cool. And I was very, very happy that he was my friend. The next scene is I'm looking down this street and a door breaches, like some kind of a gate, something, and the enemy infantry comes flooding in, and I had this belt-fed machine gun, and it was utilized. And I had to do this video a few times because this dream really, really bothered me, because thou shalt not kill, and I know this. And that dream was very, very gory and very ugly. It was just an ugly dream. So then the next scene is, imagine a smaller town and there are shops on Main Street, right? And some of those shops have an apartment on top of the shop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in this top story looking down this stairwell into the lobby, kind of a small shop. And on the outside of those windows is Main Street. And somehow I know this. And I'm looking down at this secret meeting, and it's still nighttime, middle of the night. There's no lights on. I'm looking down at this secret meeting, and there's a dude on, which would be my left, wearing a suit, which I don't want to guess what nationality he was, but he wasn't Asian, right? And then he was speaking with, I want to say it was 3 North Korean military officials. It was 2 or 3, and one of them was a woman. And they were having some secret hush-hush meeting. And then one of the North Korean people, I don't know who, pulls out a pistol and shoots the dude in the suit. And then they look up the stairs, and they see me looking down at them, and they flee out the front door. They didn't even shoot at me. They just fled out the front door. But somehow I knew that they were North Korean. They weren't Chinese. They were North Korean, specifically. And how I knew this, I don't know. It's just a thing that was given to me in my dream. So I finished going up the hallway, went into the room. There's a room up there, the apartment room, right? And just to give you an orientation, the apartment room sits right on top of that lobby. So on the other side of that the room is a window. Outside that window would be Main Street, right? Same orientation. Laying in that bed are 2 Caucasian people that are naked. And, you know, they have like a sheet kind of halfway covering some parts, but you can see their shame. And the woman was on the left and the man was on the right. The man was maybe 2 times older than the woman. And the woman, I would say, she couldn't have been over 30. She was somewhere between, I don't know, 20 and 30, but probably closer to 30. And the one particular thing about it is she had burn marks on her chest from smoking cocaine. I don't know. Which, like, don't smoke cocaine. Don't do drugs. But she had, like, her skin was like sizzled. Like if something had um, some hot substance had fallen on her and it burned her skin. She had a bunch of them on her, would be her right side. So this detail means something. I don't know what, but that's what it is. And then that is the end of the dream, right? So it's World War III with China. I don't know where I was, to be quite honest with you. I don't know where I was. But I do know that it was nighttime. I do know that the moon phase had to have been fuller because I could see the people running around, right? And the voice said, "You are now authorized to engage all enemy combatants." And that voice came from up there. I almost want to say, was that the fourth seal breaking? I don't know. So that's that dream. And now I want to. Now you can see why I had to do this a few times, because it's just disturbing. I don't want anything to do with this. Why should the civilian population have to pay for decisions that our government is making? It just doesn't make any sense, right? But I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles. So, anyways, the next dream. Well, I had this dream like a year ago. I was standing there looking off into a distance, and there was a man standing next to me, and he was a large man. And I said, "What are the rules of engagement as it pertains to like a foreign army invading your country?" And he looked at me and he said, "Do you remember what the Lord said about adultery?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, if you lust after someone with your eyes, you have committed adultery in your heart." And he says, "Yeah, that's what he said." And he goes, he goes, "So now, what do you think? He said, "So now, if a foreign army is flying to your country, what do you think that they are thinking?" And I said, "Well, they're probably thinking about killing me." And he said, "So what does that make them?" And I said, "That would make them murderers in their heart." And he says, "Do you understand now?" And I said, "No." And that was the end of the dream. So I don't know. Thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not kill. That's all I know, right? Unless you hear a voice from above that says, "You are now authorized to engage all enemy combatants." And I don't know. Those are my dreams. So that's what I got for you. So thank you. God bless you.